Hi, it's Chris Watkin here, and I'm joined by Ian Macbeth from Avocado Property, very well-known estate agent from Berkshire. Thanks for joining me today. You said to me before we started filming that you think estate agents have broken estate agency and now we need to fix it. What do you mean by that? Talk to me.
I've been involved in estate agency since 2003, so I'm not pointing the finger at anyone else. I'm very much inclusive of that. But I think the way that estate agents have progressed over the last 2 decades, or not progressed as the case may be, has resulted in what the public's reputation of estate agents is. And I don't think if people are watching this and seeing this, taking it offensively personally, it's not, it's identified by the public. They have a lack of respect for the industry. And
Isn't it interesting you use the word industry and not profession? What do you put that down to?
I think it's the way that estate agents have what I call competitive FOMO. They're magpies. We all want everything. And if there's a competition, if there's a competitor out there that's got a certain tool or a certain skill or prop tech, everyone wants everything, which ramps costs right up.
I find it that they, most estate agents, their motivation is not helping someone to sell their home and move to the next chapter of their life. Their motivation, in a huge amount, and I would actually say, especially jobbing valuers, is winning a listing over the competition.
Absolutely. And that's where that competitive FOMO comes in, because they fear losing to the competition.
Yeah, it's like they hate Rightmove, but they hate their competitors even more. So they would rather not leave Rightmove, or if that's as an example, I'm not suggesting anyone does that, because they don't want any chance of losing. Do you think that's because of the type of personality that seems to be attracted to a estate agency?
Maybe it's the generations that's got us to the point where the internet's happened, and people that are running agencies prior to that, there was a certain way of doing agency, a certain manipulation tactic, a certain way of sales, hard push.
Well, I mean, I've just turned 50, and I know an awful lot of people who are in their 50s who were brought up in the 90s as estate agents, and really it was a case of whoever had the biggest newspaper, took the old newspaper adverts, was basically the big agent.
Yeah.
And what you had to do is almost take more pages, not because it helped your vendors, but my wood is bigger than yours and big swinging deck stuff.
Yeah. In a way, maybe a lot of things haven't really evolved from
They haven't.
then.
They've still gone from newspapers, they've gone on the internet, and everyone's got to have the Rightmove optimizer package with all the bells and whistles and every portal and every this and everything.
So it goes back to, are you focused on your competition or on your client? And that's the big thing for me. I think most agencies in general, and I think there's some world-class ones out there, so I'm not putting everyone in the same peg, but in general, because that's what the public see as the general, I think that's what people focus on.
It's almost like estate agency's there for estate agents and not for the client.
Unfortunately, yeah, it is a little bit like that.
When did the penny drop with you on all this?
When I started looking after marketing, and when I got to a high level and looked from the top at MD level, seeing the marketing data, and then also seeing, because when you get to director level and you're not doing agency, you deal with the complaints. This is basically your job, recruit and deal with complaints. So at that point, you realise that there's a reason why the same complaint keeps coming. And it doesn't matter what you do in your profession, because you're built around departments effectively with cheap labour up to more experienced and expensive labour, with loads of whistles and bells, meaning it's a low profit and loss spectrum to be a sales estate agent. Therefore, you can't give the public what they need, which is continuity of communication and quality from start to finish. And I think if you look at a lot of the really talented businesses out there, the account manager is often the highest paid person, whereas for us, it doesn't work that way. It's the salesperson, the value of the listers, the high performing sales target, OTE. And I think it's a little bit backwards, and that's why I think we broke it.
And the solution is what?
I have a view that the solution is built somewhere around the self-employed model, because it means the client gets continuity of communication, but it has to be the right person, the right personality. Whatever brand that fits within, I think that can have the biggest impact on a state agency. I think online came on board. It wasn't a fix. It was just cheaper. Traditional agents have had their run of the green. It hasn't worked. Decades of it, it hasn't worked. It's still disliked. I think it's time for something to try and do it properly where the public benefit from it. And that's my view. I don't know if it's the answer, but we're going to find out, because I'm going to push it my way, and I know a lot of other people are as well.
Maybe we could talk about that in the next video.
Maybe we could.
Excellent. Thank you.